Afternoon. Well, I guess it's 11. So, I mean, it's not really afternoon, is it, Adam? It's before noon. That's our show. All right, anyway. Anyway. Welcome back, guys. Sorry about last week. We had a house guest for the week. So, we just had, it's hard to get some things done. We were moving around. We were spending time with our house guests and stuff. So it wasn't time to really do any videos last week. But that's fine. I want to give you guys a little breather before we started episode 10. Episode 10, guys. We made it to 10 podcast episodes already. I thought I'd talk about a couple of things we see. Anna and I will do a Barbie review tomorrow. We saw that last week. It's pretty good. We'll do a review tomorrow. We're going to go see Cobweb tomorrow night. It's a horror movie with Homelander in it. The guy who plays Homelander, Anthony Starr. Yeah. Going to see that just because of him. Because he's awesome. So we'll talk about that. Talk about some other things I've watched recently and give kind of reviews on those. And just everyday little checking in, guys. We're checking in. I got this big old water bottle. I've actually drinking all the water in it right now. But wait. I've got more! So I'm going to pour more water in here right now. This is very exciting, what you're watching here in real time. Me filling up a water bottle. So that's a very exciting thing. I don't just drink seltzer and pop. Sometimes I even drink water. Drink that shit. It's good for you. Real water action. There you go. Bada bing. All right. We also got a pure filter. It's huge actually. So that's what I've been doing. That's why I got one of these. It's easier just to do that. Plus, it saves us on having to buy plastic bottles. That was actually from work that a friend gave me. So I was like, I'll just drink it later. So there. That was exciting. 2 minutes right there, huh? Aren't you exhilarated? Got some snacks around here. Got some peanut butter M&Ms. I got the Slim Jims. I try not to eat too many of those because, hurt your stomach. But I found that the ones in the box, they just tend to taste better than the ones, I don't know. It's weird. I also got some chips around here somewhere, too. Barbecue chips, they're good. Oh, they're there, the wavy chips, yeah. This is my life. This is what I'm here to share with you. Anyway, enough jibber-jabbering about bullshit. Let's talk about things. As you know, I've been watching Righteous Gemstones. If you haven't seen that show, you should check it out. Same people who did Eastbound and Down and Vice Principals, as well as David Gordon Green also, directed the Halloween trilogy, the recent trilogy. However your thoughts were on that, keep it to yourself. But they do really good things. Like they have some very heartfelt things in there, and there's just a lot of good comedy. It's a good commentary on that kind of Southern religious folk and super churches and things like that, and violence that goes with some of these crazy church groups. Like I said, Danny McBride's great. It's great to have John Goodman in the show. Like I've said before, it's a good thing to have John Goodman on a show that's not The Conners, where his talents are being wasted. The rest of the cast is great too. Walton Goggins is just fucking hilarious. Like he's probably my favorite character on the show because he's got this big white hair. He looks like Billy Graham. It's freaking hilarious. His character thing. Bubby Baby Bumpers. Bible bunkers, baby bumpers, or whatever. I forget what it was called. It was just funny. He's hilarious. It's funny, I found out that my sister-in-law is also a big fan of Righteous Gemstones, so pretty cool. Great minds think alike. But yeah, definitely check it out, guys. It was a good season. Steve Zahn was on, and Kristen Johnson, who used to be on Third Rock from the Sun, which I hadn't seen her in years, were on too. That was an actor named Lucas Haas, who I remember as a child actor. He was on there too. I was like, wow, it's cool how they find this talent. Like, where have these people been? Good to see you though. They were good though. Like Kristen Johnson was playing his kind of John Goodman's long lost sister, and then Steve Zahn was playing her estranged husband who had been in prison and was basically leading a militia, a religious militia of redneck crazy people. Who honestly, all the side characters are fucking hilarious. So, like all those guys that were part of his are just fucking great. There's a point where they're under a bridge and like they get it, like he goes and gets some chicken can I have 2 chicken sandwiches? No, you can't have 2 chicken sandwiches. But it's just, yeah, it's a great show. All the characters are great, and it's. I'm not going to go over every storyline on it. Basically, there was a big falling out between them, and there was a big lead up, and then things got solved, and peace was made. But yeah, it's a good show. A lot of good actors on there, a lot of fun things. As I said, I really like Danny McBride. I think he's I've always said he's kind of like a better Seth Rogen. And nothing against Seth Rogen. I do like his work on The Boys. But just as an actor, he's just kind of Seth Rogen. Like even when he's doing voiceover work. Hey, I'm Donkey Kong. I'm still sounding the exact same and not even trying to sound different. So it's like that's one of those things where, when they started doing the A-lister people that were normally just film actors becoming voice actors on these things. It works in some cases. Robin Williams, but in a lot of cases it's like, couldn't we have just stuck with the people who make it a career that are voice actors that maybe can't get as many film roles and stuff? Just saying. Because then you have things like that where it's just like, yeah, I'm not even trying. I'm just going to sound like myself, even though that's not the freaking character. But anyway, so yeah, we actually watched, Anna got to watch Dungeons and Dragons because our friend had Peacock and it was on there. So I watched that again. I freaking love that movie. I'm sad it didn't do better at the box office because it's really fucking good. It's funny. The characters are all likable. It's a good movie, guys. Check it out. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, an actual good Dungeons and Dragons movie. That's not the one from the '90s or, Mazes and Monsters with Tom Hanks. Where it's turned him evil. Oh, the devil. Yeah. So, who among us can read this writing? That's a quote from that movie. Tom Hanks is just really, he's very young in that movie. His acting is not quite up to par yet. That's okay, though. We all start somewhere. But yeah, Anna really enjoyed it as well. Like I said, I hope they get, to do more, because I think there's a lot of fun things you could do with Dungeons and Dragons. For you Dungeons and Dragons fans out there. And if you'd like to know about Dungeons and Dragons a little bit, we actually have a channel called Nat Gaming Funny, or Nat Funny Gaming, yeah, where we're doing a Curse of Strahd trial, and we kind of mix in some comedy because that's what we do. But yeah, we're improvisers, so improv and Dungeons and Dragons, it's pretty much kind of go hand in hand. So yeah, it's I think we got almost 20 episodes, I think, up there. So check that channel out and subscribe if you get the chance. And if you want to watch comedy sketches, we have Adam and Anna, which is also up there. Just look that up. We're up to 128 subscribers right now. Very exciting. We're still building on this one. We're at 35 for this one. We're still building that up. I'm looking to probably do some shorts, maybe some movie reenactments or something like that. Maybe some scenes here and there. Just to add some stuff to the channel. Just to have some more stuff besides just me podcasting. I know I've been so lackadaisical on the Scream pitch. I know it was like I was really excited about the first two, and then I was like, what the hell do I do with this other one? I think the other ones, because they had already happened, it was more easy to be like, we'll just do it this way. And because we never got a 5 or 6 with the 4 or 5 with following number 4, there was there's something to play. Whereas this one, it's like, we had 2 movies, and now it's like, what the hell are we gonna do now? I have a rough idea that I'll do later, but. Because we're going to a friend's play tonight, so I got to take a nap here soon. So anyway, but yeah, definitely check out Righteous Gemstones on Max. Used to be HBO Max, now it's just Max. But it's good. It's a really good show. Check it out. I am looking forward to a couple other shows that we got. Winning Time has got another season. I think it might have started. Billions is coming back for their final season, and Damian Lewis is coming back. Yes. I tuned in for Paul Giamatti, and I ended up liking Damian Lewis just as much. So, yeah, I still like Paul Giamatti. He's awesome. He's got a new movie coming out from the same people who did Alexander Payne. Yeah, same people who did Sideways. So, it looks pretty good. He's like a teacher or something like that. I saw the trailer for it. I forget what it's called, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, so Billions is a great show. I like that a lot. And then, let's see. Only Murders in the Building. I gotta get back on Hulu. I haven't been on there in a while, but that new season started apparently too. So I need to get on that shit because that's a really good entertainment as well. Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez is good too. There's it's just a good cast, and Paul Rudd's in this season as well as Meryl Streep. So that'd be pretty cool. It's the big names. So I'm looking forward to that. And Osaka, I'm looking forward to that as well. I said I didn't really watch the Clone Wars much, but I knew a little bit about Osaka, and just from the trailer, I was like, this looks pretty good. Whether it will be or not, who knows? But I liked Obi-Wan, frankly. So everybody seemed to like bitch about that one, but I thought it was fine. I didn't get around to watching Andor. I've heard it was really good, but I just haven't got around to watching it. There's just like every time I like think like, oh, maybe I should check this show out. It's like then like, oh, those shows I watched already, or you know, like, oh, I want to check this one out. Oh, I gotta watch this first and this first, and then it's like, oh wow, weeks have gone by and I still haven't watched that. Like I said, I still haven't watched the Eternals, so that's still a thing that has not happened. I've watched all the Marvel shows and every other movie besides that, but I have still not watched the Eternals. Someday I will. When there's nothing else to watch, just to finally see what the hell, you know, if it's any good or not, in my own opinion. Because I like to make my own. I used to sit there and I would get influenced a little bit by like other reviewers, whether it was on YouTube or whatever, where it's like, oh, they said this movie sucks, so I'm not going to even bother seeing it, or it probably sucks, or you know, or I'd go into it with that mindset of, oh, I'm just going to hate this movie, and that's a horrible way to go into it. I think, you know, it's like even if you heard things here and there that might be like, oh, that may not, you know. I think it's a horrible way to go in to see a movie because you're just going to basically ruin it for yourself. It's like if you think you're going to hate the movie, you're going to hate the movie, you know. So I'm starting a new strategy. Like I did that with Indiana Jones. I did that with Barbie. I did with, you know, I didn't go and think I was going to hate Barbie, but like, you know, still like I went in with an like, open mind because I wanted to like, I want to see how I feel about it personally, as opposed to like what somebody on YouTube or some reviewer thinks about it. It's like I will see this movie if I choose to see it. We still haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, so we haven't completed the thing yet, but we'll see it soon. I really wanted to see Cobweb first. I want to see a horror movie, so in the theater. So we're going to do that tomorrow. So yeah, cool. That was that ramble there. Also, we got to watch Renfield finally, the Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult movie, also on Peacock. We really enjoyed it. It was a good movie. We would say basically like we cared about what Nicholas Hoult as Renfield was doing, and we cared about Nicolas Cage caging it up and having a blast, obviously, and doing a great job too. I love there's a thing in the beginning where he's kind of like placed into the old Dracula, and they like kind of put his face on the that was interesting. And he was clearly having a good time, and it was pretty violent too. Like there was a lot of blood and stuff, so they didn't hold back on that, which was great because it was more of a horror comedy, but it was still like they still weren't afraid to like slice someone's head off. But there was a whole storyline with these like. I forget what it was called, but like they were like a gang or something like that. But like I think they were supposed to be called Lobos or something, which means wolves. So when I started that, I'm like, oh, are they going to turn to werewolves? Or are going to have this battle with Dracula? And nothing came of it. Like I think he turned one of them into a vampire. That it's just like nothing. So we really didn't give a shit about corrupt cops or the gang war thing or whatever was going on. Just Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage. That's really the press edition. So if you're going in for those that's fun. It's fun. It's a good movie. It's fun. Cage has a good time. Obviously Nicholas Holt's good. Awkwafina's decent. Although as Anna pointed out, there's like her posturing is very weird in this movie though. The way she's like walking in this kind of weird way, and it's like I don't know if it's just a character choice or she was having back problems or what. But yeah, it's pretty good. Like I said, it's on Peacock right now, or you can rent it on Redbox or whatever. So check that out as well. So those ones I enjoyed. And then there's Slasher Season 5, Ripper. Oh, they almost had me. Because this one, at first it opens up, when you hear the name Ripper, and I hadn't thought of where it was set. Because at first I'm like, okay, this guy's Jack the fucking Ripper, right? They're going to do a Jack the Ripper story. Cool. Not that it's never been done, but like, okay, they're going to go for their season. They're going to do Jack the Ripper, And then like the guy who you think is Jack the Ripper gets like slaughtered by this other slasher villain. I'm like, wait a minute, you just killed off Jack the Ripper. And then you find out it's in Toronto. It's like, oh, okay. So this isn't Jack the Ripper's in London. But it's like 19th century Toronto, Canada and stuff. Because the show's set in Canada. That's where it's filmed too. And so yeah, it's so then basically like he was like some scumbag who did like to hurt women. So as usual with every victim in the show, they're usually assholes. Now granted, not every one of them was a killer. like the last season where it's like everyone here has basically killed someone. So, but they were still like, jerks or whatever. So most people who died got what they deserve, so to speak. But I have the problem was like within the last couple episodes, much like the last season. Like I said, it really does remind me of American Horror Story. It feels like a Canadian version of American Horror Story. You have some homoerotic themes in there, which is, big in American Horror Story. That's not a complaint. It's there. And then you have, a lot of the same cast members coming back. Paula Bacanti was back again, playing a much bitchier character this time. And a couple other characters that were back too that I recognized, actors. Like the kid playing the detective, I think he was in season 2. I don't remember him being in the other seasons, but he was definitely in season 2. He wasn't bad. I thought he did a good job. I thought the actress who ends up, spoiler, being the killer was solid, but my problem was that, on Eric McCormick, actually I thought was pretty good. He's playing kind of a sleazy rich guy and all that shit. But like, I thought he was fine. My problem was with the ending, because after the detective who ends up sleeping with the woman who ends up being the killer, who's being the Ripper, or whatever they were calling. I don't know if they even called it Ripper, but they basically confront Eric McCormick, who has taken this other girl, who's their sister, to be his bride, and they're in this church. Basically, he lets the woman go, even though she's like a murderer, even because she was apparently the servant's daughter, and the servant got murdered, and he basically killed her, and it's this weird, twisted, weird thing. But so Eric McCormick's character is an asshole, but they literally go to a church where he thinks he's going to marry this girl, and then it turns out he's also slaps around his maid and all this stuff. So I guess he's a total creep. He's an asshole. But he goes to this church, and then his maid and the preacher and the cop and the murderer and the girl he's supposed to marry all come out and just beat the shit out of him, poke his eyes out and stab him. Just and they just walk away in the middle of a fucking church. The fucking priest just let someone get murdered, even though the guy was responsible for his dad going to get hanged and stuff for the crimes that he didn't actually commit. But still understandable, but still a murderer. All the other seasons, it's the murderer got taken down. He was a bad guy. Second season, the murderer kind of got away with it, but there was still a survivor. But it wasn't like the cops just let her go. She just escaped. The third one, I think they pretty much got taken out. Yeah. And fourth season, the murderer themselves got taken out, and then every other person pretty much, except for the one girl. But basically, we're just gonna be yeah. And then all the cops turn. Somehow it was weird because there was a commissioner and he got killed, and then he was corrupt and he got killed, and then suddenly the detective is just suddenly the constable all of a sudden. He's the next. He just became a new detective, and somehow he jumps up to constable. I don't know how the hell that fucking works, but and then all the other cops, the white cops, pretty much, just say, we're not working for you, we're throwing you in jail, and we're making you, and it's they were paid off by Eric McCormick or something. What? It's just one guy, guys, come on. But it just was but it was just, I don't know, it just bothered me because I'm you almost had something I was even enjoying it. I was some of the kills, even her being the killer was at least believable. She'd been trained to fight and all that. She had kind of a, maybe she worked with Lady Shiva. I don't know. But there was at least a backstory that made sense. She didn't look like a little twerp or nothing like that. So there was at least some believability to it. Not completely believable because it's a slasher, and I understand that, and I suspend disbelief. But it was just they have the same problem American Horror Story has, and a lot of Stephen King books. How to write the fucking ending. Because you want to kill Eric McCormick's character, totally fine. He was a bastard. But in the middle of a fucking church. And I'm not some big churchgoer, so that's not what I'm just and you just all walk away. But she still killed all these people. She still murdered them, whether they deserved it or not. She's still a murderer, right? So why is she getting to walk away? Just because what she's doing, the cop? I'm but shouldn't she still go to jail? It was like this. It felt very like it was the same kind of theme as the season 4, a very eat the rich type of thing. Which, believe me, as a guy who works overnights at a store, believe me, I get it. But it's just kind of like it felt like it was going more for their message as opposed to like you're doing a slasher show. You don't need to do a fucking message, guys. It's a slasher. Did Jason Voorhees have to have a message? No, he didn't. He just slashed people. He slashed campers. And whether you want to say that was a commentary on whatever, but that's more of a deep dive and all that stuff. But like to me, it bothered me. I'm just like I want to like this show. I liked the second season a lot. First season wasn't too bad, but like third and fourth have been kind. But like I was enjoying it up until that next to last episode when they fucked it up. It's just like, because at the end of the day, I know she's a woman. I understand that, and we're trying to be sensitive and all that stuff. But like, she still murdered people viciously. This isn't just like she ran over them with a car, or like just shot them with a gun. Even like as bad as that is, she's like slicing people fucking up like viciously, like vicious kills. This is not just like she's a vigilante. She's not the fucking Punisher. It's like it was just trying to make a hero out of someone who's basically a murderer. I'm like, no. Like, I understand what you're trying to do, but like, and what you're trying to say, and believe me, I didn't have a problem with Aaron Current's character getting killed. That's fine. Because he was a bastard and he was an asshole and deserved it. But I think that's the problem that Slasher likes to do. And I can understand wanting to do it like that to a point, but it also just becomes kind of repetitive. Like, it just feels like the same fucking thing every fucking season is, we're going to show how this person you just saw murdered brutally, we're going to show how they were a total asshole and fucking deserved it. And it's like, okay, yeah, we've done that for 5 seasons. Can we shake it up a little bit? And no, not letting the killer get away and killing someone with other people there. One of them, a cop, getting away with stabbing a guy's fucking eyes out in a fucking church. I don't know. I want to like the show because it's called Slasher, for God's sakes. I love slashers, but like, and I understand the suspension of disbelief. I can suspend a disbelief on a killer. That's fine. Whether it's a female, whether it's a male, or whatever, but like, it was just like, it was so frustrating because I'm like, I was frustrated by Creepshow season 3, and then I watched this, and I was like, why can't you get this shit right? So I don't know. It's not. I can't say it's as bad as American Horror Story has gotten. They're not hiring Kim Kardashian, so that's a plus. But it's just, it was frustrating. A frustrating watch. And I'm also, it's just like, man, you could have just done a Jack the Ripper story. That would have been something different. Because at least, you don't have to do a total thing, but like, you could have done a Jack the Ripper story because you literally called the show fucking Ripper. But that was a twist. It's like, I just feel like this guy's copying Ryan Murphy's Homework or something sometimes. It's just like, it feels like practically the same show, and that's what's frustrating about it. Like, this could be good. This could be really good and fun. But then you fucked it up. And that's the thing with Ryan Murphy. Like, it's like, those last couple of seasons have just been like, tough to get through. I didn't even watch the last season. I'm not going to watch Kim fucking Kardashian, so I won't be watching that shit, unless I decide to hate watch or something. But so it's like, I'm not going to do that. But I don't want to support Kim Kardashian. She has enough money. And she's not a real actress. So anyway, that's my opinion. You like her, that's cool. I just think, she's already rich. She doesn't need acting jobs too. So yeah, that was my thoughts on Slasher Season 5. So right now, that's all I've watched besides going to see the Barbie movie. And that'll be a separate review. So what else is going on in the world, Adam? Well, I'm wearing this Hawaiian shirt. I just froze for a minute there, sorry. Hawaiian shirt. It was Friday is Hawaiian shirt day. Just doing a little Bill Lumberg there. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. We're getting ready to do a show. We pushed it up a little bit because one of the team members isn't able to do the show, so we had to make some changes and stuff. But no big deal. We didn't get into Sketchfest this year. not the end of the world. Actually, just with how things have been going this year anyway, it's not really like too big a deal because I'm like, all right, then would have been one more thing we had to prepare for. We're preparing for a big show in November at a different location for our first time at the location. So I'm not worried about, Sketchfest. The only two things that annoy me, and this won't be a big rant. This isn't a rant on the sketch community like I did many years ago and stupidly and shared on the sketch community page, which was a mistake, and I regret that. But I would say there are two things that bug me. Number one, usually when I've gone to like auditions for things, you act, whether acting or film or whatever the case. Actually, I really haven't auditioned for any films, but anyway, regardless, most of the time, not always, there are exceptions, but most of the time after you go to an audition, if you don't get a part or they just don't have a part for you, they will send at least a courtesy email and say thank you for coming on auditioning. Unfortunately, I have nothing to offer you this time. We hope to see you again soon or at another audition or something like that. Whatever the case. It's a nice consideration. Now, it doesn't always feel good because you got rejected, but you get over it. So it's like, that's not a big deal. We can always submit next year. We can submit to Portland. That's not even the issue. It's not the issue of whether we got in or not. And I'm past whatever issues I had before with that. But it's just like, I literally had to find out that we didn't get in by looking it up on an event page. Not even like their website or their Facebook page. It was literally like someone had shared Eventbrite and it just had the people who were in it. And it's like, you can't even let people who submitted that didn't get in, just let them know. Like I said, I'm not mad. It's like, like I said, it's actually kind of a relief because we actually moved our show to the day that one of the showcases is going on anyway. So we wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. But it's just kind of like, I know, common courtesy. It's common courtesy. That's all I'm saying. It's like, hey, sorry we couldn't add you this year. We never, And the other thing, when I looked at the list, it was like last year for the local showcase, I think there was like maybe 7 groups. And each of us got 10 to 20 minutes, something like that. We had 10, I know. And might have been a few others had 10 and 20, which, whatever, I don't care. Any time is good. But there's only 5 groups listed. And it's from 6 to 8. So if you do the math on that technically means that those groups potentially, unless they divide it up differently, could be doing 40 minutes of sketch each, practically. I don't know if I'm dividing that right or not, but essentially 40 minutes of sketch. So it's and maybe that'll be divided into 20 or 30, I don't know, something like that. But still, it's I'm just thinking you could have given a few, not even necessarily Turbo Turkey, but could have given a few other local groups. I mean, there was not that many that submitted. I don't know. So like I said, I'm not speculating on what it is. I'm just saying, share the wealth a little bit. You got 2-hour block. I mean, that's just my opinion. And that's it. That's no heat on the people running Sketchfest. That's no heat on the sketch community. That's just kind of my opinion on that. And I won't go off on a big thing about it. Just 2 things I think, courtesy email, and, if you're going to do a local showcase, have a couple more groups in there like we did last year. So it's last year we had 7 groups. Why not, why not this year? But I don't make the decisions, so I'm just a guy doing stuff. I just do stuff. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's that. So I'm not going to dwell on that or move on. Like I said, I'm already really over it. I just wanted to address it real quick because at the end of the day, the Turbo Turkey Productions is my group that I'm a part of and lead as artistic director. So, I comment on things that we're doing, when we do shows. Occasionally we've posted things with, videos of upcoming shows and stuff, or posted a few video clips. I'm going to try to put some more up on here too, just for, shits and giggles. If you want to watch anything that we've done. Whether you think it's funny or not. Yeah. Anyway, laugh. Actually, I couldn't hear if you laughed anyway, because you're out there. Hope you'll laugh. Hope you'll subscribe. And thanks for joining me today on Adam's Rambling Podcast. So we're getting up to about the 30-minute mark. I don't think there's too much else for me to talk about today. So, and I need to take a nap. So, I think I'll go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts on things, as usual. I'll try to do more, like I said, do more shorts. I'll try to do some more talking points on here besides just, I watched some shit. This is my podcast. I talk about how I watched some shit and what I thought about it. Then I drink a big bottle of water. and wear a Hawaiian shirt and Cobra Kai hat. So yeah, and this is my hair. My wife really likes it because it's got this kind of little divot here. I mentioned we had a good time for her birthday though, right? We went to the wine, but it was a really good wine. I think I did mention that last time. Anyway, cool guys. 11:45 now. It's been 30 minutes, so I'm gonna shut the hell up now. You all have a wonderful weekend, and like I said, I'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow with a Barbie review, and we will also I'll probably do some screen pitch. If I don't do it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow, and maybe some shorts I might do just for just a little added content to the thing. I gotta think on what I'm gonna do. Still wait for the shorts, but I'm gonna give it a try. See if it gets any views, see if it gets us some subscribers. It's been a little while since we got a subscriber, guys. So if you like what you see, like what you hear, like my finger points at you, hit that subscribe button. Let's get those subscribers up. Wouldn't that be special? I don't know what that voice is. Anyway. All right, guys. Have a good day.